We are back. This is Lake TJ
With Diva Fitness.
Diva Fitness is so telling me all her trials and tribulations. And I can understand why she could get really frustrated this morning, but she got a big old smile on her face. I'm just trying to tell you. And I love it because if you hear the story, I don't know if she want to share that with y'all, but I can really post her phone.
Yeah, post.
But let me put it in a video. Let me put it in a video.
They don't understand.
Diva Fitness been having a problem with this phone right here. Excuse the Band-Aid on it. That's what I'm gonna call it, a Band-Aid.
We're gonna do a fundraiser.
And we're gonna do a fundraiser for her to get a new phone. I just want y'all. I'm posting it as I'm videoing right now. Okay, I'm just saying. But I want this not the bad part. Okay, the bad part is this. Bill, I'm just trying to tell y'all, we need to fundraise because she thinks it's the battery. It's time for her to move on. And as the song in Frozen go, let it go, let it go.
It's not the phone, guys. It's the battery. Trust me.
Tell it's time. It's time.
Tree, I had to let mine go when I thought it was the battery.
Yes, it was time.
But see, I know it's the battery.
It's time to go. Let you know.
And mind you, if you guys see this, that the
Jesus said in His back of 5,000, let that phone go.
That's in here don't even go with this phone.
It don't fit. It don't fit.
But guess what?
What?
My phone works.
No comment. I'm gonna leave that alone. Because this Band-Aid right now. You know, I'm stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids stick on me. All right, let's get back. This is love. This is love. I told the audience today about Michael Brown's funeral today.
Oh, okay.
And that they were videoing it. I don't know if I ever want to watch something like that, but it's on blackamericaweb.com, and they're showing it on CNN. It probably is already airing because it was 10 Central Standard Time.
Personally, me, I'm not a fan of videotaping a funeral nor taking pictures of the body.
A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. I don't know.
But I mean, some people want to remember certain people in different ways. I guess
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Different.
I'm not gonna touch it. But then I wanted to celebrate these young baseball players. These little leaguers.
Not the Jackie Robinson Oh my gosh.
They are the U.S. World Champs. They are the U.S.
Number 1 in the USA, number 2 in the world.
How about that? This is awesome. I ain't even
realize who they played.
Who?
We need to protest because there weren't no kids.
Who were they?
There was many adults.
DJ K.
Many adults.
That's what DJ K said.
Kids.
But DJ, that's what you gotta understand. Sometimes it be a David and Goliath battle out
here. I know, but this group of kids were the kids that
But they did good.
But they were the group of kids that people from years and years and years never won a game like this. Never got to this status. Never, they may have, as a young boy said, maybe 2 out of
Cinderella team, basically.
Yeah, no. Well, you can't call it Cinderella. They boys.
No, I'm just
I get it. Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Okay, stop
like
mopping the floor.
Basketball team, that shit.
Okay.
I think they would have beat them.
Yeah.
But I think when they seen them Giants come on the field at first, they was intimidated.
I would probably be
and
too.
Then after they realized, okay, wait, we can beat them, they start coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too late.
Yeah. I think it's an awesome story.
Yeah.
They were on GMA this morning, so they're doing their. I think the president had called them.
I'm glad we have to promote more. It's like, and a lot of people really don't even know about that story with these kids, but it's like these are the stories that we need to promote. This is the story that we need to share over and over on Facebook. Just remember, when comes negativity, there's so much positivity still around us.
Absolutely. And I think that, and I used to do those feel-good stories. I used to do every Friday. It was always some kind of pay it forward kind of stories. Maybe I need to go back to those kind of things. But it was act of kindness. That's what it was. It's act of kindness stories. And letting us know that it's some good in this world, regardless of what you see.
There's a lot of good, but like, media, social media, they feel as though those aren't the stories that get attention because, you know what, naturally, I don't know why we're like this, but we feed off of negativity so quickly. We'll believe a lie before we believe the truth.
And that's where society has gotten us to the point of trying to figure out who we are, because it used to be proven guilty. We had to be proven guilty. We were always innocent until proven guilty. Let me say it like that.
Right.
But now we're proving guilty as and prove us innocent. Right. Vice versa. I was trying to get it right, but somehow it wasn't coming out. But maybe we'll figure it out. Now I was talking about learning to love each other.
Right.
This is a task for us. This is really a major task for a lot of us. And when I was speaking on Saturday about, what the show was about and how I had to break down, beloved, let us love one another. And then I had to say, wait a minute, pause, because a lot of us don't love one another. And I let them know that, I did a 2-week show just on learning to love one another. Learning to love ourselves, because we don't. And then we got into, and then I explained how we were we're at the point where we're trying to learn to love one another. Your enemies, because those are the ones you have to love first. I'm just trying to tell you. Your enemies. How do you love an enemy? Out of all the trials, all of the physical abuse, all the negative abuse, all the emotional abuse, how do you turn around and have love for that type of person? You need to put a mic on. DJ KJ said something, but I couldn't understand it.
It's over there, but I say anything. I saw this movie once, and a girl, a matter of fact, it's an Italian job when the guy killed the girl dad, and he always had this quote, and she said it, she got it from dad. He said, "It's not the people that I don't like, it's the devil inside them."
Absolutely.
And you got to think about it. It's not it's like we're puppets. And when we allow the devil to use us as a puppet, you can tell, and it's like you have to look past that. Sometimes I even talk to people, well, she did this to me. Look beyond the surface. It's something deep-rooted in there that's the problem. And we as a people, we'd be so quick to judge, not knowing that there's a deeper story. Even with our enemies, it's like, why are they our enemies? But you learn, like Brother Glover said, you have to learn how to love people. You can love them from a distance. And
that is an awesome statement, because I think a lot of times we take what people say and wear it. If you can understand that, we put it on our shoulders, we put it on our hearts, and we marinate in it. It's like meat. We sit in the sauce all the time, and that sauce never dissolves. It's just there. We always marinate and thinking back. We replay it, but we never get to the point where we get out the sauce to get in the pan to be cooked, so that we can be refined and redeveloped. And I think a lot of times it takes a strong mindset, and that's going to take a process, because unfortunately we are in a world of people being jealous of someone else, or I don't like this person because they are doing something that, and we said this before, they're doing something I want to do. I always wanted to do. I never did it, so why she got to do it? And it becomes those kind of petty things. And then it can be just an incident that between you and her, or you and him, or whoever it is, that never resolve whatever it is.
Like Brother Taylor said yesterday in his message, she was like, you're going to have people that just don't like you, don't even have a reason why. And he said they just don't. And it's like, guess what? Because I love me so much, I still love you.
Absolutely.
Even in spite of, and that's what
and you have to be okay with that.
Right.
That's the point.
That you don't like me. And I don't know why you don't, but I'm okay. I'm still here. And I'm going to still be,
be in your face if you need me to. Right, exactly.
You know what? And I was always told you catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Yeah.
It's like you have to, those little snippets, those quotes, it's like they actually do mean something. They may not make any sense at the moment. Why am I trying to catch flies with, so they won't be buzzing around you, aggravating you. So let me just shut this down and just catch you. That's how I see it.
Amen.
But I've been in a place where I would say I've unknowingly created enemies, because people say that my voice may be very aggressive at times, but sometimes it's like I can't change me for you. It's like, this is me. If I wear this part in the middle of my hair, that's just me. Like, come on. We nitpick so much, then we become a society of, no, we're not giving anybody second chances. The Lord give us chance after chance after
Amen.
chance after chance.
Absolutely. And I think we need to really realize that. I mean, even when we do the biggest sin, when we do the biggest mistake, God is still in the blessing business.
And I know, and all of us have some deep, dark, secret mistakes that we don't even want anybody in the world to know. And it's like, He still forgive us for it. So these like little petty issues.
But I think we take it out of context. I think people take it out of context. I don't want to put myself in the we department. I really don't. I try really hard not to judge anybody or anything. I don't want to be a group of people and be like y'all. This. Right. I don't want to be that type of person. I don't think I've ever been that. But I do try my best not to judge, because I've seen what it does, and now you can be able to go talk to somebody and get something correct, instead of judging. And it won't even be, you wouldn't even think it was judging. It's just something you see. Or like I think one of the young ladies had a short dress on yesterday. And one of the ladies, I just watched, and I'm at a hospitality desk, so you kind of see every emotion people come in. They're going to come in happy, they're going to come in frustrated, or they just don't want to talk to you, they walk past you, or what have you. But, one of the ladies at the hospitality desk with me was like, your dress is kind of short. So, but really realizing that she had a belt on. So, one of the things that I love how they did it, it was like, maybe you need to loosen the belt a little bit, and it'll come down a little bit. So she did. The young lady did it, and she took the belt loose. She was like, "How's this?" And it was like, "That's better," So I love that. She could have came off in such a way that this young lady, and I mean when I say young lady, I'm talking teen. Young lady could have said,
is already defensive.
Exactly. So for her to be able to stay humble and not get upset about it, it was very nice that, she said, well, come here, let me fix your dress, because it's kind of, I don't want it to be high in the back and low in the front. So that's when she said, maybe you need to take your belt loose a little bit, and let it fall. So, those are kind of things you can go and say to somebody without going directly and say, you're dressed too short, you come in the Lord's house, and then the person feel really offended.
Speech.
Yes, you come in the Lord's house with that. But if you would she could have really, you could have really turned it off. You always remember that when we have to deal with those kind of situations, it's still a soul.
And
you want that
back to what Robert was saying, that you have to learn how to meet
people at their level.
Right.
You have to. And I think that's the thing that we have to, that's the love that we have to reach for ourselves. And that's an individual thing. I can only give you tips. I can only give you Bible scriptures. But it has to be a mindset that you want to achieve and move forward on. Because if we sit back and we continue to look at things as, who is she to tell me what it is? But if somebody coming in the spirit of meekness, I'm so serious, that spirit of meekness just changes everything. That's where love covers.
And another thing to self-examine, you have to think about it. Before you approach people, regardless of what the topic is,
right,
you have to think about it. Would I appreciate it if somebody
just came
to me the way I came to someone else?
Yeah.
And you really think about it twice before you approach anyone with anything. And it's like, it's always about your delivery. It's not about the message that's being sent and given. It's the delivery of it.
And I think that's where the mixed emotions comes in about judgment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you cannot judge anybody. I'm not here to tell you not. It's just me personally. Don't go about it in the deepest, harshest way.
Right.
Yeah, because you want people to feel like you appreciate them. And that's the biggest thing. And that's love. That's just straight up love. If I appreciate you being here, and I saw you in something really short or something that was revealing a little bit too much. You know, that's where you talk as a sister. That's where you get to meet them and say, you are right, everything good. You just go around this thing to make it work.
Shoes.
I'm not going to say nothing about the shoes. I'm not going to say nothing. You was really funny, but you go wear them shoes, stay in the car. You know, I don't know.
Chanel Vernon, I was coming at ChanelNicole.com.
ChanelNicole.com.
I was trying to do my delivery. She still messing with me.
She still. Oh wow. Okay, you gonna have to work on a new technique on that one.
It's cool. My friends still love me.
I hope so. Jeez, Louise.
And she's want to be a mommy again.
Oh, baby.
But no, it's all about delivery. And, you know, when it's like, even with me, I mean, sometimes I know that if I'm not having a great day, and I remember I was even pulled to the side by a family member. It's like, Mo, you know, you not even realizing I was snapping. I was so snappish. Right. And I have a younger cousin. He's a teenager, and my older cousin was like, Mo, what did he do? You know, he said he was just snapping on him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm starting to snap on him, and I had to pause myself. And I even told her, I was like, I am snapping on everybody and anything about, it doesn't even matter. I said, I need to step out.
I've learned that one so much. I'm telling you. I'm like, why am I tripping? What is going on?
I really had to take a pause myself. I had to remove myself from the home. And it's my home.
Wow.
I had to remove myself. I had to take a walk, a break. And I was just like, you need to tighten up. Now, you have to talk to yourself.
Right.
And it's like, but if you already feel like you're on this high pedestal, can't nobody tell you anything, you don't love yourself.
Because you ain't going to want to hear what I got to say.
Yourself.
No, you are. When people are coming to you in the most humblest way, most of the time people receive it very well. People that are in their own little box, unfortunately, you could come the most humbling way, they still won't listen. You know, some people, when you get to that kind of person, you have to like pause and say, you know what, I can't say anymore. You know, God bless you.
Right.
You know, I'm going to pray for you. Pray. You know, a lot of times you have to take that pause and say, you know what, is it worth it? Is it worth it? You know, I think every soul is worth it. But if people are very hardened to certain things, you kind of have to let those people go until they come to their realization.
And right, and that's why the Bible says give your burdens to the Lord, because that person will become a burden if you try so many times. It's like, you know, Lord, you know my heart. You know I've tried, so I'm giving this to you to take care of. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
You know, like no one, like Brother Taylor said yesterday, no one is more powerful than God.
Absolutely. And I don't care. But we say this all the time, though. When we sit back and we say that God is all. He is all in all. There's no one, and you say it all the time. There's nobody else perfect. Jesus walked this earth. He was perfect. He was perfect. And even though he went through this earth and he dealt with so much where you do want to go and retaliate.
What?
And you do want to go and say, you know what, God, take care of them. You know, as we say, move those mountains.
Well, so and could have called how many angels to come down and
10,000. I'm going to sing the song. Don't let me sing the song. Okay. But I'm saying...
DJ KJ closed his eyes and I knew I could make him laugh.
But I'm saying, when we get to, you know, when we think that it's so important that it's about us, we got to get to a humbling state. I mean, that grumble to humble thing, we grumble. How many times can I say that without slipping, sliding? I'm just saying. But to the point where goes back to love, and it goes back to what Robert said, and it goes back to, we need to learn to meet people where they at. And when we start learning to meet others where they at, guess what? It would be so much easier to express, to talk, to love.
Because that wall comes down. And I have a beautiful example. I think I told our listeners like a few weeks back. There's this young lady, newcomer to the congregation, and Brother Glover's like, Monique would be a perfect person for you to talk to, and mind you, she's not like me. I grew up in the Church of Christ from a child, so my experience is totally different from hers, and she being a new member. So he was like, you can talk to her about anything, and I told her this. I was like, you want to call me about anything? I said, it's between you and I didn't see her for a couple of weeks,
right?
And she was going through a personal issue, and I was like, I understand. And yesterday I seen her, and I was like, where have you been? And she was like, I have so much great news. And I was like, she was like, I start a new job tomorrow. And I was like, yay! And she was like, the situation I was telling you about, I'm so much better and I'm over it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And we were standing in front of Brother Glover, and he was standing next to Brother Taylor. And I was like, Corey, she has great news. I'm so happy for her news. I'm hugging Corey because it was him who told her to come to me. And
Absolutely.
it was just like, it's like when you're overexcited for somebody else's happiness, it's like,
that's a blessing. I mean, it's beyond measure to describe it. Yeah, it's really beyond what you even envision it to be. Sometimes, and the funny thing, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if you see it, and don't you start crying because you're gonna make me cry.
oh Lord.
If you don't see that you are really truly touching lives, but the life that you are really touching is yours. Your life has turned, and it keeps turning, and it keeps growing, and it's such a beautiful thing to see. Just by you sitting here, you take more of my time talking. I can't get out my verses, but I love it. I don't interrupt because I know you have something to say, and when you say those kind of things, guess what happens? God light still shine. So I'm gonna let your light shine. You know, because you know I gotta let your light shine. But I see growth. I see growth. I see maturity. I see from the time you started here to now. Man, I don't know what your transition was supposed to be. God placed you here, and then I'm telling you, your transition is looking really, really spiritual.
You know, one thing I can say, thank you so much. You know how to overlove me.
Overlove.
That's not even a word about overlove. I've noticed it also, and it made me. The crazy part about it is it makes me more aware of my actions when I'm in the wrong.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes, you know, when we're in the wrong, we still make us feel like somewhere
it's somebody else.
It's not my fault. Well, I did this part, but I'm learning to accept my wrong and learning how to deal with my situations and not be spiteful, but deal with it out of love.
Absolutely.
And it's hard because you feel like sometimes I can't have the mindset I'm always right and somebody is wrong out there in the world.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I've learned to, you know, take responsibility for myself, but learning how to do it out of love for me. That's why I said there have been a lot of times I didn't love myself at all. But I've come to not only love myself, I overlove me.
I love it. But that's what a lamplighter does. A lamplighter lets that person shine. I'm not in the business of just letting my light shine by myself.
Right.
I'm going to bring as many people in as possible. I can't have like 10,000 of y'all on my show. But if y'all all want to like try and call in and be a part, I have no problem with that. I tell anybody that's in the church, if they want, they don't. You know, I wanted to say something to your Gotti. Your Gotti came to me. I'm a beater. That's what I told her. She fired. She is so fired. She told me that she was out of work.
Yeah.
For like, I don't know how long. She was saying she was out of work. And I'm saying, well, why don't you come to the studio? Why don't you come to the studio? Because she came to me to talk about the race. Why didn't you come to the studio? Sister Johnson, I told you I was going to try. Why you ain't come to the studio the time you was out? You could have came up here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What in the world? Pick a day, something. So she was like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about it like that. I'm like, really? Did she turn around and say, well, I started work on Monday. Really? You are so fired.
And y'all, let me tell you something about my Gotti and how people just like lose their mind when they lose a job.
Yeah.
Let me say something. I know she don't mind me telling this story. But she was at our home a week ago, and she was just talking about how she knew that she was going to lose the job that she was at. Mm-hmm. And her coworker was like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? And my Gotti is like one of those examples I said that you can see. I put on my Facebook status yesterday that the zeal that Brother Taylor has for Christ is undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
My Gotti zeal for Christ is undeniable. Because when I say she goes through so many trials and tribulations and heartaches and pain, the smile and the positive energy that like she is filled with, you would never think she would go through anything. Even when she lost her job, she told the lady at her job, "Don't worry about me."
Right.
And she left with a smile.
Yeah.
Even when she was going through her job interviews and stuff, and she wasn't working out.
Right.
It's like she knows that she served a mighty God, and when you know that, you still winning.
Absolutely.
Even when that job let you go, she still knows she's winning.
So I kind of fired her.
She'll never be fired.
She fired from the late TJ show. No, I'm just playing.
You still like, and then like sometimes, like I said, this show has helped me to, you know, stay spiritually grounded and to be more positive about situations and trials that may come my way. Her motivational moments every morning, that she gets up every morning. And when I say this is a woman of the Bible, she is truly a woman of the Bible. And it's like she puts out there for Facebook, she inspires so many.
Right.
Now her timing may be off and she forgets stuff. She's human. But she is so inspirational and I love her. That's why we like, are you sure you're not Gina's daughter and the boys don't belong to my mama?
You're so wrong.
We are just alike. She says that all the time. This is truly my daughter.
I hear you. So I just wanted to give you that tidbit too, because she was like, okay.
I fire her all the time.
You fire her all the time?
Yeah, she's my Gotti.
All right. Get
Shout out
your
to
life.
Gina.
See, I ain't call your name. I just said her Gotti.
Gina.
Get your life.
Burning.
Oh! I ain't call your name. I ain't call your I ain't call your name. Let me give y'all the daily devotion. So, you know, we're doing a lot of talking. Let me give y'all the daily devotion. It is called today, We Have This Hope. That's all I got for you.
We have this hope.
Yeah, we have this hope. We have this hope. H-O-P-E. I'm going to call it Sunshine Note, because they say it, but it say daily devotion. Is you all right?
I fired Gina. I call her Gina May.
Gina
Gina May, you fired. She's like, I know I was supposed to do this.
Look at you. You don't want me to wipe your mouth. You don't want nothing.
Go on, hold your bottle, Amber. You want to show out?
She put her hand here so it could. Oh.